Yo, what's going on, boys and girls? Welcome back to another video here today for another installment of F1 2019 career mode, here today in the Racing Point at the Belgium Grand Prix. Now, I've got some news regarding this episode, and well, actually no, I don't, because the title basically says it all and spoils the moment. But for the first time in our career mode, we have driver transfers. So let's go and have a look. Lando Norris moves to Alfa Romeo, replacing Antonio Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi has been let go. And Lance Stroll, the man who we kicked out at the start of the season, has moved to McLaren, replacing Lando Norris. So there we go, Norris to Alfa Romeo, Giovinazzi has been shown the door, and Stroll in McLaren. Going to be interesting to see how those two go in the new surroundings, but for us, we had upgrades go on the car successfully, so hopefully that'll mean a nice little boost in performance. But without further ado, let's get into practice for the Belgium Grand Prix. Let's go.
We've arrived in Belgium for the next instalment on the Formula One calendar. It'll come as no surprise to many that it's currently raining here in the Ardennes countryside. Spa, of course, is infamous for its unpredictable weather patterns.
Carl probably mentioned the new parts that have come in from the factory. Well, they're all fitted and good to go. I hope they do the trick.
Alright, thank you very much, boss. Welcome, guys, to the Belgium Grand Prix here at Spa. Full wet practice, as you can see, so we were struggling a little bit to start off with, not going to lie. Track acclimatisation, I had to have 2 or 3 goes at that to successfully pass it. Really just struggling with oversteer, just losing the back end so many times. We got through Eau Rouge eventually, as you can see right there. Took us many attempts to get through there, but we finally got through there unscathed. But practice, it did go alright. We had numerous moments, as you can see right there. There was another one, and I believe we're about to have one right here. Yes, we are. On the gas, just a little bit too much, lost the back end, and round we go. So we had numerous moments in practice, but we got through all the practice programs. It dried up ever so slightly at the end, so we all ended up on intermediate tyres. Worth noting as well, we do have an engine penalty. We got brand new engine, brand new gearbox in for this race, so hopefully that'll give us a nice boost in performance. But let's go get into qualifying.
It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar. Long straights, up and downhill, Eau Rouge as well. This track isn't for the faint-hearted. And as we count down to that green light, I have to say, Anthony Davidson, that this rain is not showing any signs whatsoever of abating. I imagine we'll be looking at some last-minute setup changes to better adapt these cars to the conditions. What do you think?
The trouble is, Crofty, they need to be thinking about the race tomorrow. You don't want to go jacking up the ride heights and piling on a few points of extra downforce that you're not going to want in the Grand Prix itself. The Parc Fermé regulations mean that you have to make that choice. The best thing the drivers can do is adapt with the tools they have available in the cockpit. Moving the brake bias forward will help stop the rear end slipping out under braking, and opening up the differential can really help tame the oversteer on corner exit. The drivers that can make best use of these techniques will have the best chance for success here today.
Alright, here we are, qualifying for the Belgian Grand Prix. Full wet qualifying, as you can see, but it is supposed to be dry for the race, so I was kind of taking a bit of a different approach to normal. It really was just a case of let's just go for broke in a sense, because obviously we'd be starting at the back with a brand new power unit, so yeah, it was just a case of just trying, yeah, that the attitude was really just go for broke and let's just see what we could drag out of this car if we really tried to throw it around this Belgium Grand Prix circuit. But coming to the end of Q1, it dried up, so we're all on intermediate tyres. Perez provisionally in P1. We come across the line. Where do we end up? I think it was P7. Wait for the graphic to come up. Yes, it is P7. So we successfully navigate qualifying 1, and we are through. And I believe Perez, yes, Perez stays P1. So the Mexican showing some very good pace. We are quite a way off Perez as well. This just seems to be a common trait amongst the AI. We can match him in the race, we can match Sergio in the race, but in qualifying he's just OP as all hell. So hopefully we can try and close that margin. Cutting on to the second part of qualifying, we had a fault at the start of the session, so we fast forward the time, and I'm going to do one run right at the end of the session. The track dried up completely, so we're all on dry tyres. This has been a pretty decent lap coming across the line. Are we going to make it into Q3? Yes, we do. P5. So, pretty good lap that, not going to lie. We do lose a fair chunk of time in the middle sector. We finally better Perez in a qualifying session. End up P5, Sergio down in P7, so we finally beat our teammate in a qualifying session. That's taken way too long to do, but anyway. We'll cut on to qualifying 3 now, and once again, just going to do one run right at the end of the session. And let's just, yeah, go for broke and see if we can maybe take it to Lewis Hamilton. I know that's ambitious thinking, but let's go. We're the last car to cross the line, I think. There might be 1 or 2 cars behind us, but we're basically going to get the best of the track conditions, so we'll try and make the most of it. We are the quickest cars okay, that didn't come out the way I wanted it. We are the quickest cars in the speed traps, myself and Perez, obviously, with the beast of a Mercedes engine we've got in the back. We're the fastest in this first sector by a fair chunk as well, so up to the first sector split. We should be purple on the Mercedes, and we are. So, good start to the lap, but we lose so much time in this middle sector. We lose nearly a second to the Mercs in this middle sector, so that just shows the chassis and aero downforce that we lack compared to the front runners. I don't think our aero and our chassis is bad by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not on par with the front runners, not even close. But coming through this long sweeping left-hander now, it's been a pretty decent run through the middle sector so far, so hopefully we haven't lost a huge amount of time. Hopefully we should be able to gain some of it back through the final sector up to the bus stop chicane where it is basically flat, so hopefully our beast of an engine can help us out there. And we are down on Lewis Hamilton by a fair bit as well, so this is looking like maybe a top 5. That's probably wishful thinking, but hopefully we can gain some time back now as this Mercedes engine powers us forward to the bus stop chicane, looking for the 100 metre board. Hard on the brakes now, down into 3rd gear, down into 2nd gear to get the nose in, down into 1st again, short shift up into 2nd, up into 3rd, overtake mode, hot lap up to the line. What is it going to be?
Nice job.
We go P3. Alright, that was a bit unexpected. I did not expect to end up P3, to be honest, but yeah, really happy with that. Perez in P5 as well will turn into P4 with our grid penalties, which puts us at the back, which is a little bit unfortunate, but you know what, I feel like we've got some real good pace, so we should be able to have a good run of things here today, so let's go. And yeah, we get some more rivalry points up on Perez. We are absolutely flogging Devin Butler, so we don't have to worry about him too much, but starting at the back, not really what you want, but with a fresh engine, you know, completely fresh power unit at a racetrack like this, hopefully it'll pay dividends and we can blast our way back through the field, get back up towards the front, score some more points, maybe try and snag another podium, but let's go find out.
So, unfortunately, we've picked up some grid penalties, and we'll be starting further back than you expect. As for how bad it is, that'll depend on what the other drivers get.
In the 48 races held at Spa between 1950 and 2015, the race winner has only started from pole position on 16 occasions. Qualifying yesterday may have set the order for today, but expect the unexpected here at the Belgian Grand Prix. As the saying goes, of course, anything can happen. And you know what? It usually does. Spa-Francorchamps then, a historic 19-corner circuit with a lap distance of 4.35 miles. There's over 100 metres of elevation change here, and with long stretches of the lap spent flat out, a good top speed will be vital for success. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Vettel, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Verstappen, Weber, Butler, Russell and Alexander Albon, Stroll, Gasly, Kimi Raikkonen and Norris, Grosjean, Kubica, Daniel Kvyat and Kevin Magnussen, Ricciardo and Lee. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, don't worry about making places into one, it's far too tight. Concentrate on a clean exit so you get good momentum down the Camel Straight.
Alright, we will try and do that. Boss, welcome guys to the grid of the Belgian Grand Prix. That was a unusual introduction. Absolutely no comments about the driver swaps between Alfa Romeo and McLaren. So the F1 media obviously does not give a flying crap. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, coming into this, I was confident we could definitely get back up in the points. A podium, probably just a bit out of reach. If we were starting like down in 10th or something, like with the 5-place grid penalty, I'd probably say we could manage it. But from back here, I find it very, very unlikely. But you know what? Stranger things have happened. We've, you know, we can just go and try and do what we can, and hopefully a solid chunk of points will come our way. I do want to try and get back up to Perez, I'm not going to lie. Whether that turns out to be for a podium spot or maybe for P5 or P6, I'm not too sure. But I do want to try and beat him, but we'll see what we can do. No radio messages, Jeff, like normal? Okay, never mind. So, here we are, awaiting 5 red lights for the Belgium Grand Prix. And away we go. Held the lights for a while there. Been a fairly average start. It's been a dreadful start, actually. We've gone absolutely nowhere. We're going to look to the inside into turn 1. Didn't want to risk it. I thought like I might get turned in on there. To commentate with the AI on this year's game, sometimes if you try to look to their inside or outside, they don't really give a crap. So we played it safe into turn 1, and hopefully now this Mercedes engine can help us blast past some of these guys on this long run up this extremely long straight after Eau Rouge Radion, whatever you want to call it. Past Ricciardo, past Magnussen, and that is up into P18. So 2 cars dispatched off already. So our Mercedes engine really helping us out there. Next up, Danny Kvyat. Looks like we got Grosjean and Kubica going side by side. Kvyat trying to find an avenue up the inside, nothing doing. We're going to look to the outside now. He squeezes us, and again, that's what I was talking about. Just runs us completely out of road. Not interested, just does not give a flying crap that we're on his outside. So that's probably what we should come to expect from the torpedo. But anyway, he gets a bad run, held up by Kubica. We get a good run on him. We're going to try to go around the outside again, back out of it this time. And I didn't want to risk it then. I felt like he was probably going to run us out again. And we probably would have ended up in the grass, and that would have just been disastrous for our race. And it's lap 1, so there's no need to go trying crazy, risky stuff like that. They could totally end your race. But coming on just a few moments later, into the bus stop chicane, we're going to go up the inside of Kvyat and Robert Kubica. Another 2-car overtake. We lose the back end, something shocking there. But we just get the move done. Yes, we do. So that's up into P16. Another 2 drivers dispatched off. Next up, Romain Grosjean.
It's time to use some
So
of this
hopefully
charge.
we can dispatch of a couple of these guys pretty quickly. Kimi Raikkonen just ahead of him, and then a long train of cars. Engine overheating slightly, so we're going to have to watch out for that. That's one thing that I've noticed is very prominent around this racetrack. Your engine can really overheat because you spend a lot of time in rich, and that's what we're doing right now. In the slipstream of Romain Grosjean, we pull to the inside, get the move done, past the Haas driver. That's up to P15 now. So we've dispatched of 5 cars essentially in the space of 1 lap. Not too bad. We probably could have definitely done better if we'd taken a bit more initiative. But you know what, it's alright. Getting on to the next lap low, up behind Kimi Raikkonen now. DRS is now enabled, so reach fuel mixture overtake. Let's see how well this engine does work. Up the inside of Kimi Raikkonen now, and there's Lance Stroll into McLaren. We're going to go up the inside of the Canadian as well. The man we replaced in Racing Point. We get the move done. Another 2-car overtake up into P13. George Russell up in P12. What the hell is he doing up this far? We're going to try and dispatch of him down in the left right hander up the inside. Do we get the move done side by side, leaving the space on the exit? But we get the move done. The Williams just doesn't have the grip to hang it around the outside. That's up to P12 now. So already dispatched of nearly half the field in the space of 2 and a bit laps. Into the bus stop chicane. We're going to try go around the outside of Gasly. He turns that into an overtake attempt on Norris. Lock up on the front tyre, nearly runs into the Alpha. Side by side now along the front straight. I'm really wanting these two to sort it out. So instead, we're going to go for the big boy dive up the inside, are we? No, I thought about it. But I thought, you know what, better to play it safe. We got a long DRS zone coming up where we should be able to easily blast past these two. Gasly gets the move done on Lando. But that's probably not such a good thing because Norris, I think he should have DRS here, which means he should get Gasly back. But we're going to blast past a pair of them. We're not going to wait till the end of this straight. We're going to get the move done early. Norris attacking Gasly again. Yellow flag behind us. Someone retiring maybe? I can't tell, but anyway. Looks like someone may have retired from the race. Norris gets the position back past Gasly. Going to cut on to lap 6. Someone did indeed retire. I think it might have been a Toro Rosso or Danny Kvyat. I'm not too sure. Cutting on to lap 6. Real good run on Devon Butler through a Rouge. And we already passed him before we get to the DRS zone. Now, just blast past Alex Albon. Look at the straight line speed difference. We just blew past the tyre driver. That would almost be depressing. That's Fernando Alonso 2015 Honda-powered-esque move right there. But anyway, cutting on to lap 8. We're coming in the pits now right behind Max Verstappen. So, if anything, we could still be on for a podium realistically here because we're battling Verstappen and Ricciardo. And this is basically for kind of a top 5 spot. So, this a podium may not be totally out of the question here. We're going to come out right behind Max Verstappen. I think Ricciardo has maintained his position ahead of the Red Bull. And we're going to come out now. And there goes Kubica, and we got Grosjean right behind us. So we haven't really come out in an ideal spot. Moving as Kubica looks for a move on Verstappen. That could have ended disastrously. Thank God he pulled out at the last minute. But look at that. Overtake, reach fuel mixture, DRS, Max Verstappen. Absolutely nothing to fight us with. We blast past the Dutch driver. Get the move done. We're up into P9 now, P8. Perez, Vettel, a couple of the rest of the leaders in the pits, I should say. So we've jumped Verstappen, a couple of others. We're into P9. Perez coming out of the pits. We've come out right behind our teammate. I did not expect to be staring at the rear wing of our teammate by lap 10. But there is overtake, rich fuel mixture. We get the move done round the outside. That's up into P8. Next up is Sebastian Vettel. And I think this is effectively actually for a podium. So I want to get this move done. And we got a Williams and an Alpha going really slowly there. I don't know what they were doing. I think that was Norris and Russell. I think they were trying to come into the pits. I'm not sure, but that was a really messy bus stop chicane. I don't know what was going on. But basically all of the AI have pitted now. We're up into P5, Vettel P4, Perez in P6. So we could be on for double top 5 for the Racing Point team, which would be absolutely awesome. Especially considering we started last, remember. We have got a brand new engine in the back of our car and we're putting it to use. Up the inside of Sebastian Vettel, job done well and truly before the braking zone. We get that done easy as you like. Coming on to lap 11, Valtteri Bottas, fastest lap of the race. Charles Leclerc just up the road ahead of us. We're going to try and hunt down the Monegasque driver, fastest lap of the race as well. Probably aided a bit by DRS, not going to lie. But yeah, it's going to be interesting because Vettel, Perez, 2-3 guys right behind us will have DRS, but coming on to lap 15, we have actually been able to reel in Charles Leclerc. This is for a podium spot. DRS, overtake, rich fuel mixture. We get the move done round the outside, and we are up into the podium positions from last on the grid. I don't know how we've managed that. Coming on to lap 19, Perez has managed to overhaul both Ferraris. He's got himself up into P4, and now the Mexican is looking to potentially make a move to steal this third place off us. Looks to the outside. He's going to get this done before the braking zone, and he does. Perez up into P3, and that really caught me by surprise. But anyway, it looks like we've got a fight on our hands, definitely, with our teammate to try and get this podium spot back. We're going to look to the outside now. on the final lap of the race. Look to the outside, he leaves the space, so close to touching between the teammates. I'm sorry, the English is really bad today. Perez squeezes on the outside, we're going to try to squeeze him to the inside. Looking to the outside now, side by side between the teammates, wheel to wheel action. This is awesome stuff. Are we going to get this done? We've got the inside. Perez hangs it around the outside, but he has to give up eventually. We get the move done, back up into P3. Checo really didn't want to give up that spot, but eventually he had to. Otherwise he was just going to end up in the wall. Smart driving, but cutting on now, coming up to the bus stop chicane. Perez is right on this. We're going to defend to the inside. Will he look for a move? I don't think so. We should be safe. Round the final corner. Hamilton fastest lap of the race, but I don't give a crap. We're going to come across the line for P3 from last on the grid. Get in there.
Nice work, you did well today. I think the boss will be happy with that one.
And Mercedes have pulled off a great victory here today. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes.
So there we go, guys. We've only gone and pulled off what I honestly thought was impossible. We have come from 20th position, last place on the grid with a brand new power unit, and we have only gone and finished on the podium. Perez in P4, so a fantastic result for the Racing Point team. P3, P4. Mercedes 1-2, but honestly, I don't care about that. We've come home in P3 and P4. We've really outdone ourselves this race, not going to lie. Checking the standings now. We move up to P4, overhauling Sebastian Vettel. Perez overhauls Gasly, so he moves up into P7. But, man, what an awesome race this has been.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you?
Yeah, we certainly did. That fresh power unit helped out a treat.
That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you?
Well, I think they're fine. Probably getting a bit heated, but always good to have a bit of inter-team rivalry.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, thank you very much, Claire. And there we go, guys. That has been today's video, career mode, for the Belgium Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps. Really, honestly, just amazed that we actually just did that. 20th to P3, Perez home in P4 as well, so this has been an epic race for this team, both in drivers and constructors, but what a result.
Commiserations on that result. It's been a tough weekend. Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation.
Commiserations on that result. We finished on the damn podium, Emma. Are you watching the same race that we were in? Oh my god. This is why sometimes you honestly just want to punch your agent in the face. Okay, well. Anyway, that's been today's video, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed a really awesome comeback through the field, despite what our agent might say about that result. I am personally really pleased with that one. We come away with a podium finish that realistically we shouldn't have gotten, but yeah, we drove hard and we earned that one. But bloody hell, that was an exhausting race. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you guys enjoyed, remember to smash that like button, subscribe so you can stay tuned for plenty more. And until the next video, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.